That is the Kremlin. And that under here is an underground shopping mall. It's been 2.5 years since February 2022. That means there have been 900 days of sanctions and a huge list of Western companies have pulled out of doing business in Russia. So what does a shopping mall look like in Moscow now? Today, I'm going to give you a tour of the mall closest to the Kremlin, right in Vladimir Putin's backyard. Let's go. So let's get started with the first shop you see when you enter this shopping centre, Echo. Echo is a Danish shoe manufacturer and a retailer that has decided to keep its stores in Russia open. As a result, a number of Danish stores in Denmark have stopped selling Echo shoes, and their headquarters in southern Denmark was vandalised, but it seems like they have no intention of leaving the country. Nearby are the shops over here, Calzedonia, Intimissimi, and here Tazenis. They're all owned by the Calzedonia group. They're from Venice in Italy, and they also appear to have no intention of leaving Russia. This here is Rebranding, which is a Russian company selling perfumes and stuff. However, most of the goods they sell have been imported from abroad, and the company appears to have absolutely no issue getting hold of Western brands and Western goods. As we keep going, we can see Russian clothing shops like Ikonika, Tam, Lime, Idol. Like I said, they're all Russian brands, but they've really started to gain a much larger market share as Western companies left this market. Lime over here is probably the best example of that. Its clothes are similar style to what something like, I guess, Zara, or what Zara used to be when it was here, although it's actually gotten a lot more expensive in recent times. This here is Mango, a Spanish company. It's officially left Russia, but the shops are still open here. Apparently the owners of the shops are franchise owners, and they buy the clothing through intermediaries, bring it into Russia instead of directly from the parent company. Of course, over here is Kiko, a brand owned by an Italian group, the Percassi group, still open here. Across the lobby here, this is L'Occitane, a French brand. However, the company has actually divested from Russia. These shops are now under the control of local management, not the French head office. But as you can see, the shop's still open. It's still selling L'Occitane stuff the same as it did before. Most Western brands, especially sporting brands, have left Russia. So if you want to buy lots of different types of streetwear, you need to go somewhere like this place, Street Beat. It sells lots of Western imported brands such as Puma, Reebok, New Balance, North Face, Vans, etc. So yeah, those don't have their original shops anymore, but all their stuff is on sale here in Street Beat. Here are two other examples like Street Beat. It's Amazing Red over here, and opposite is La Moda Sport. The Amazing Red shop over there used to be Nike. This used to be an official Nike store, and they still sell lots of Nike stuff today. And the La Moda Sport shop used to be Adidas. It appears they got their hands on all the Adidas stock that was being sold here, and they're selling it themselves. This over here is Mag. This shop used to be a Zara. Zara shops were all bought by a company from the UAE, which rebranded them all as Marg. The clothes now are Zara style, but are not as good as Zara used to be, and recently have got more expensive than Zara ever was. This here is L'Etoile. It's a Russian cosmetic store, similar to the Rebranding one we looked at on the floor above. And just like Rebranding, it has absolutely no problem at all sourcing Western brands. I can see from here Tom Ford, Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, absolutely no problem. Oh, and next to it I missed is Calliope. That's an Italian brand. This here is Ecru. It used to be Bershka. It was bought by the same company that rebranded Zara and did the exact same kind of thing. The clothes are still Bershka style, just a brand new name and worse quality for money, in my opinion, of course. This here is Salamander, a German shoe company. This one's quite interesting because after a bit of a scandal in Germany, the Russian franchises were bought by the Muntz Group, which still operates them as it always did, as normal Salamander shops. You can barely tell any difference inside. Actually, they've gone an extra step. Since it was taken over, they've actually expanded and opened up new stores in different cities. Oh, and right behind me, this here used to be Victoria's Secret. This here in the corner with the Q is Cinnabon, which is an American brand. The company that owns it is called Focus Brands, actually. And although the company has officially paused its investment in Russia, there are still almost 200 Cinnabon cafes open throughout Russia. This is Eurospa, known in some countries as just Spa. The parent company, based in the Netherlands, Spa, sold the entire business, the entire Russian business, in 2022 or 23 to a Russian individual, but the new owner has opted to keep the brand exactly the same. So there are still 200 spas operating in Russia, even though the actual head office in Holland has nothing to do with it, has sold everything and can't do anything about it. This in the corner here is Collins, a Turkish jeans brand. Business as usual there. I don't know of any Turkish companies that have actually pulled out of Russia. This is Modi, which is basically a Russian analog of Flying Tiger, which you see all over the world. In fact, the entire concept is basically the same. I don't want to say it's stolen, but it's been highly influenced by it. This here is Gloria Jeans, which has massively expanded in the last 2 years. It's essentially taken up all the space left by H&M around the country, definitely in Moscow, and has revamped their style, which was pretty outdated by 2022. But now they're massively popular and have the world famous New York-based model Irina Shayk doing their advertising. You can see her right there. So that's it. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of this particular shopping centre. It's quite small and doesn't really have the selection of the malls outside of the centre like Avia Park. But this is a really good way to show you a middling run-of-the-mill Moscow mall, and give you an idea of just how much has changed and how much hasn't changed. Some Western brands are still here, some have adapted, some have left, while other Russian brands are growing to fill the space left behind by Western brands. I hope to see you again in another video soon.